Okay, my friend, how to stop caring what other people think without becoming some weird cold robot. If you've ever stopped yourself from posting something or saying something or wearing something or doing anything because you're worried about what other people might think, you are not alone. But here's an uncomfortable truth that most people never hear. Caring too much about other people's opinions doesn't just make you anxious, it also silently limits your potential. It keeps you editing yourself instead of expressing the true version of you. It makes you hesitate on your dreams that were meant to be lived, okay, not just imagined. And it also drains an extraordinary amount of energy that could be fueling your confidence, creativity, and clarity. And so let's just be honest, like you probably already know that caring too much about what other people think is holding you back, but you might not just be realizing what exactly it is costing you. So there is a hidden cost to over caring. So every time that you hesitate before taking action, like you lose a little bit of momentum, every time you adjust who you are to make other people feel more comfortable, you lose a little bit of authenticity. And every time you replay a conversation, like wondering, like, did I say the wrong thing? You leak energy that could have been going towards your goals or your growth or your peace. And so when you care too much about what other people think, it doesn't just affect your self-esteem, which of course it does, but it also shapes your entire decision-making process. And so you start choosing safety over self expression, or you start to overthink instead of creating, and you play small instead of showing up fully. And that's why this isn't just a confidence issue, it's an identity issue. Because when you start basing your decisions on approval, other people's approval, you start living a different version of life, like the life that is not meant to be for you. So, why do we care so much in the first place? Let's just get this straight. You don't care what people think because you're weak or needy or insecure. You care because at some point, caring kept you safe. And maybe you learned very early on that being the nice one or the agreeable one protected you from conflict. Maybe you discovered that approval felt like love and rejection felt like danger. Or maybe you were praised for being the good girl who never rocked the boat, and so you kept shrinking yourself to stay safe. But here's the truth. Okay, your nervous system can't tell the difference between emotional danger and physical danger. And so when someone disapproves of you, your body literally registers that as a threat. And so when you silence yourself, or you say yes when you mean no, or you keep your real opinions to yourself, you're not being fake, you're being protective. But the problem is, like, protection and freedom can't coexist. You can't live fully and stay hidden at the same time. I'll repeat that. You can't live fully and stay hidden at the same time. And there is a cost to caring too much. I want to talk about what this habit is actually costing you, not like just in theory, but in real life. It is stealing your clarity. When you're constantly scanning for external approval, you stop hearing your own intuition, like you lose touch with what you actually think and want and believe. It also keeps you invisible, okay? You hold back your opinions or your creativity or your voice, and people can't connect to what they can't see because you've kept it hidden. It also creates chronic indecision because if you're trying to please everyone else, every choice starts to feel like a trap. You're always wondering who might be disappointed now. It also keeps you from taking risks, like you'll only chase goals that you feel are acceptable or safe instead of the ones that truly light your soul on fire. And it also kills self trust because every time you're silencing your truth to keep other people comfortable, you send your brain a message saying, well, their opinion matters more than mine. Their opinion matters more than mine. And here's this little sneaky part. You can still be highly accomplished and deeply stuck in this pattern. There are so many high achieving people in this world who care about what other people think even more, okay, because they have so much more to lose, like whether it's their image or their reputation or their perceived competence. But what is the point of success if it is built on a version of you that isn't real? So, how do we do this shift, okay, away from approval to alignment? How do you stop caring so much without becoming cold, detached, or unkind? What you need to do in order to shift your focus, you're going to move from approval to alignment. Approval asks, will they like this version of me? And alignment asks, does this feel true to me? Approval focuses outward, okay, it's about control, performance, and image. Alignment focuses inward, it's about your integrity, your peace, your purpose. And so when you start living with alignment, in alignment, you naturally care less about being liked because you're more focused about what's important to you. Now, not because you stop caring about other people, of course you still care, but you start to care about your truth more. You start to care about what is important to you more. And you start to realize that the people who truly belong in your life won't require you to shrink in order to stay. And the people who can't handle your truth were never meant to be your people to begin with. I'm just going to say that out loud. That's not cold, that is clarity. So I want to offer you some mindset shifts that are going to change everything for you. Because if you're ready to break free from this pattern, here are 5 powerful truths that I want you to hold tightly onto. Number 1, okay? People's opinions are reflections, not true facts. Everyone is going to look at you and see you through the lens of their own fears, their own preferences, their own projections. Okay, you're not being judged by truth, you're being filtered through someone else's story. The second little reframe is disapproval is not danger. Okay, your brain probably learned that rejection equals risk, But as an adult, you can actually rewire that, because someone not liking you doesn't mean that you're not safe. It just means that you're not their match and they're not your match. Another thing is, neutral is power. You don't have to fight for or against other people's opinions. You can simply stay neutral. They're allowed to think whatever they think, and they're always going to, and I am still allowed to live in my own truth. Okay? It's the and. They can think what they want to think, and I still get to live my truth. Another little reframe is, your peace is a new permission slip. If something is costing you your peace, it is too expensive, okay? Even if it wins you approval. And the other one is, the only approval that builds real confidence is self-approval. I cannot preach about this enough, because when you respect your own truth, you stop outsourcing your worth. So how do you practice caring less but living more? Okay, I want to make this really tangible. The next time you hesitate to speak up or post or take action, just pause and ask yourself, if no one else's opinion in this world existed, what would I choose to do right now? And then do that little thing in the smallest possible way. Say that honest sentence. Share the post that you've been second guessing. Wear the outfit that you love. Set the boundary that feels right to you, even if your voice shakes. Because confidence doesn't come from being liked. It comes from surviving, being misunderstood and realizing that you're still okay. You're allowed to be misunderstood, because you're still going to be okay. And here's something else too that's really important that you need to remember. You don't have to flip a switch from like, I care too much to I don't care at all. Okay, there's a middle ground. You need to start moving towards caring appropriately. Okay, you're not trying to be unbothered. You're learning to be anchored in your own truth. So how do you reframe this fear? Okay, because like, if you care about what people think, what you're probably really afraid of is losing that connection. And connection, I should note, isn't built on pretending. Okay, if it's built on pretending, that's not real connection. It's performance, and performance is exhausting. Real connection happens when you stop performing, when you just show up as yourself, flaws and all. Okay, and let those imperfections like shine, and let others choose to do with it what they like. Some may pull away, some might lean in. I definitely lean in when I see someone like being 100% fully themselves, and both outcomes are gifts, whether they pull away or lean in, because truth is going to filter your circle faster than anything else. And so I just want to remind you, you don't need to become colder. You just need to become clearer. You don't need to care less about people. You just need to care about more about living with integrity with yourself, okay? Living in integrity. Because peace doesn't come from being liked by every human in the world. That is an impossible goal. But it comes from liking who you are when no one is watching. And so this week's very gentle challenge is, just pick an area of your life where you've been editing yourself. Maybe it's online, at work, with your family, with your goals. And just practice this week doing one small thing differently. Like, say what you actually mean, kindly but honestly. Post that thing that you've been overthinking. Let someone else be mildly disappointed, and just survive it. You're going to survive it. Because every time you choose alignment over approval, you reclaim a piece of your energy, your power, and your peace. And you are going to feel it. You're going to feel this quiet click of self-respect inside you. And that is true freedom, my friend. And so if this has resonated with you, I've created a free guide to help you take aligned action without pressure, without overthinking. It's going to walk you through 5 thought shifts that are going to make it so much easier for you to follow through. Even when you are scared, even when you're feeling self-conscious, you can find the link in the description below. And if you are ready for deeper support or structure and self-trust, you can explore Inspiring Life Academy, where I share all my coaching roadmaps and 90 plus courses designed to help you follow through on what truly matters without burnout, without sacrificing your soul or your sanity. And so the final thing I want to leave with you is that, you're going to stop caring about what other people think the moment you care more about your truth than their approval. And that little shift from fear to freedom will change everything for you, my friend.